Welcome back, everyone, and I have to address India again. I was just looking that Islamabad invited the Prime Minister to India over, Modi, or whatever the hell his name is. I don't really like the dude at all. But and India's obviously freaking out, saying he shouldn't go because there's nothing but terrorists there. And the general consensus was that Pakistan just wants them over there because they're broke. Well, you know why they're broke? It's because of India. And they think it's funny. They think it's funny that they got that big lobby going around saying everyone's a terrorist there, so it kills your tourism, saying it's unsafe to travel there, getting all these companies not to invest in them. And they think it's a big joke that the unemployment is 10% in Pakistan. They think it's a joke that they don't have enough money for schools and education and food and all this other stuff. And I mean, they're just evil people. And there's no way to deal with them. I know a lot of you guys are really emotional. Obviously, in my last video, you got pretty mad. I seen a lot of bad comments. But hey, I don't really care. You know, if it's one against... I mean, I'll hold my ground. I'm tough like you guys. You know, I don't really give a shit, you know. And I try to be honest with you, you know. But I thought about India, and there's only one way to really deal with them. And the only way they're going to respect you is if they fear you. Unfortunately, that's the only way it is. So I think the best solution there would be a really good kind of blackmail threat to them. And that would be simply to tell them that our economy is way down here. And 4 years from now, we want to be at least up to this point here. And if we're not up to that point in that amount of time, what we're going to do is we're going to sell a plot of land to China, southeast of Multan, down by Fort Abbas, right way over in that border town. It's about 500 kilometers from New Delhi, okay? And they could build an Air Force base there. And they can build missile silos there with their new hypersonic missiles. It's only 500 kilometers away. And those missiles could impact New Delhi in about 4 minutes and 10 seconds. And those Russian S-400 missiles, they won't do nothing. There's nothing they would have to stop impact. And they could put bunker busters in them. They could put nukes in them. They could put imps in them. So if they think it's a big, funny game screwing with your economy, big, funny game, the mess with people's lives, then that's a big funny game too. That's a big funny game that China can have some hypersonic missiles sitting there right on that border, 500 kilometers from them. They can impact them. And they can sit and worry about that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And then they can think that's a big joke too. And then I think if you put that kind of pressure on them, direct threat like that, that they'll understand the back off. And I think the United States will even give them some advice and say, back off. And then from there, once Pakistan gets an opportunity, I think a realistic goal for them economic-wise would be Mexico. Because I think they can offer the same things they do. And I'm going to go over a couple things here. Trends with the United States. Just some technology stuff really quick. And it'll lead into my next thing with economics. I know the CIA in 1958, they created contacted Lockheed Martin to create an SR Blackbird. And way back then, that thing could travel 24 kilometers high, travel 3,500 kilometers an hour. So going that fast and high, it could zoom in 15 centimeters. That was 70 years ago. Now we go to 1971. The Department of Defense created the first social media. Okay, you see how much later it kind of sprung up. So the next thing that's going to happen is to work on an artificial intelligence. Okay, and when they say they got an artificial intelligence, they just figured it out. What it pretty much means is they've already had it for 20 to 30 years. And they just figured out a way to manipulate it the way they want to, where they can benefit a lot from it without any security risk. And if you look at security on us, like these high-end drones we have, because I know a bunch of people that fly these drones, if there's anything wrong with them, they fly about 10 miles high. Anything goes wrong with them, they nosedive them straight into the ground, wide open. $20 million completely ruined. So our security is really high. So what this means economically is there will not be AI in unsecured places. So like anything with trades like construction, carpentry, plumbing, electricians, road construction, any of that stuff, there will not be AI there. So all these people in Europe and America saying that you need UBI, universal basic income, because all these jobs will be gone, that's absolutely false. So, and I think this is going to be a huge market for Pakistan, because with migrant workers, I think there's a lot of money that can be made. Because I know Mexico made $27.6 billion in just migrant workers. That's a lot of money. That's all more than Pakistan exports last year. So that's a huge amount of money. And then if India can lay off with their propaganda, I think your tourism could go way up. Because your tourism is only generating $328 million a year, where Mexico is darn near $20 billion a year. So that's a lot of money. If you can incorporate those two things, life will get a lot better for you guys. And I know there's a girl called Ava Zubek that's really promoting your tourism over there, and she's doing a great job. I mean, the girl is terrifically talented and intelligent and good looking. I mean, she could easily be an actress in Hollywood, I believe. But the only problem with her is she's so kind-hearted that she doesn't want to offend anybody. So she doesn't want to offend Pakistan by saying that you actually have to look at these other tourism places that compete against you, and you have to be able to offer more than they do. Because in this tourism, a lot of people are spoiled. I mean, she's a nice girl, and she's pretty tough. I see her out there planting trees and whatnot. But you get a lot of these little brats that are going to come out here and say, oh, well, that's a nice scenery, but it's hot, and I don't like it. And I got mosquitoes biting me. And they're going to want to park their ass under a canopy. And then if you just have water and pop, they're going to like, no, I want a strawberry daiquiri with some big umbrella in it, you know. And if they don't get it, they're going to be on social media just like, I'm in this shitty place and they got weird people that look weird and they're staring at me and I don't like it, you know. So I think you got to look at some of these resorts and see what they do to really bring in big crowds. So I want Ava Zubek to make a new video called Ass Kissing 101, How to Cater and Pamper to Spoiled, Entitled Brats. So, and that is all from episode this time.